Today, I want to talk to you about something I know a lot of you can relate to. I think a lot of you are wrestling with the idea, why do I feel so disconnected from my teen lately? When our kids were little, connection felt easier. We'd spot a butterfly, curl up with a book, build pillow forts, or giggle at Snapchat filters for way too long. They made a new best friend at the park every other week, and they wanted us around too. A lot. But now you invite them to do something and they shrug. They're in their room, they're gaming, they don't really want to connect the way they used to. And if you're being honest, your feelings are kind of hurt. A lot of things could be responsible for this. Maybe you're a little judgy about how they're spending their time. That's not exactly endearing. It has the reverse effect, actually. They want to avoid those conversations with you. Or maybe you don't do that anymore, but you used to. And your kids are kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for you to go back to your old ways. Or maybe you've both moved into new stages. Growth and developmentally, they are not the same as they were a few years ago. They're pretty happy with the level of independence that you've given them. And so are you until you have a wave of doubt that sweeps your legs out from under you and those voices in your head tell you that you're slacking, you're not doing enough, you're neglecting them. And that's the one we're going to spend some time with today. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Sue Patterson, and this is the Unschooling Mom2Mom podcast. After nearly 30 years in the homeschooling and unschooling community, with 3 kids now, all in their 30s, I want to tell you that unschooling works. Doors didn't close for my kids, and they won't for yours either. Unschooled kids get to have great childhoods filled with all kinds of opportunities to learn. And they get into colleges and have careers, whatever path that they want to pursue. So these podcasts are little 10-minute pep talks to help you on your journey to creating the kind of life for you and your family that you deserve. And if you're not new, welcome back. I'm glad you're finding these helpful. Be sure to leave a comment or some stars or whatever your podcast platform uses to determine whether something is good or not. It will help more people find us. And then everyone, be sure to tap into the resources that I'm making each week for unschoolers, whether it's within my membership group, over on the course platform, or as YouTube videos, guides, ebooks. We all learn in different ways. So I want to be sure you have the information that you need. I'll have links in the show notes, and the transcript will be at the blog. But the best way to keep from missing anything is to get on my email list. That's linked below too. So let's dive in. This week, we're talking about teens again and what to do when it starts to feel like we're moving into roommate mode. You used to be so close. Now it feels like you're just living in the same space, not really in each other's lives. One mom on a recent group coaching call said, I don't like that we're moving into roommate mode. But we started talking more about it and realized something. Maybe roommate mode isn't such a bad thing. What if instead of seeing it as emotional distance, you reframe it as an opportunity to be the best roommate your teen will ever have? Someone who respects their space, doesn't force conversations, shares snacks without judgments, offers presence without pressure, is calm and kind and trustworthy. That's not failure. That's maturity. It's a shift. And that shift can actually bring more connection if we stop resisting it. If you used to be a traditional homeschooler, you might be wondering or thinking, but we used to have such a good connection when we homeschooled together. We sat at the table, we read aloud, we did the workbook pages side by side. It felt connected. But now I want to ask you gently, were they feeling connected? Or was that a little one-sided? I know, you felt productive. Maybe even that you were doing your job right. But that's not really the same as connected, is it? Were they waiting for it to be over so they could finally go play? While you checked a box and then moved on to the next chore? We sometimes confuse compliance with connection. And now that our teens have more autonomy, they're showing us what they really want to spend time on. And often that's gaming. And that's not them rejecting you. It's them stepping into more of themselves. And they still want connection, just not the same kind as before. Another parent on that same coaching call shared something so valuable. Her teen is on the spectrum and prefers presence without conversation. And if you're more of a talker, that can be hard to understand. You might think, he came into the room, great, he wants to chat. But sometimes being near you is not an invitation to talk. It's a way to feel grounded, to recalibrate, to just exist in shared space safely. And if every time your teen sits near you, you pounce with questions or chatter, they might stop coming around because they'll start to associate your presence with pressure. And that's the opposite of what we want. So part of building connection now is learning to not always fill the silence, to be okay just sitting beside them, quiet, available, safe. So let's talk about the gaming side of this, because I know for some parents that's really frustrating. You worry they're addicted. You don't understand the appeal. It looks like a waste of time. You cringe a little about all of it. But here's the reframe. Gaming can be the bridge to reconnecting. You don't have to love it. You just have to be curious about why they do. A lot of communities talk about playing with them, and that can be a good idea. You can really learn a lot more about all the skills that they're gaining as they play. You can see the strategizing, the effort it takes to get better at it. But sometimes our gaming skills are lacking. Playing with us can be a little irritating. Another good reason to start early, right? Before they've gotten super advanced. But maybe we just don't have the bandwidth for it. Give it a try, but if it doesn't work for you, all is not lost. You don't have to play with them, but you do have to shift something. Instead of trying to pull them away from what they love, you can start using it as an entry point. You can ask questions that open doors instead of shut them. Not, why are you always playing that game? Try, what do you love most about this one? Bonus points if you can call it by name. Have you learned any surprising skills through it? What kind of character would you create if you could design your own game? Over in my membership group, I've created a PDF with 50 conversation starters to connect with your gamer teens. No judgment, no pressure, just thoughtful questions to help you learn more about their world and invite connection through it. You're always welcome to join us in the membership group and tap into all these resources. And I do just want to say one thing about that. It is really common for parents of teens to notice that there are dwindling numbers in the homeschooling and unschooling communities as your kids get older. A lot of people homeschool or unschool their kids in the under 12 range, less so as teens. We get a little panicky, and if we haven't done a lot of deschooling, or if we're just not sure how to connect with a teenager, maybe we didn't have good modeling growing up. Certainly society pushes us in a different direction and doesn't want us to connect with them that well. They may say they do, but everything that points towards it is distance and separation, and us just learning to accept it. But I want to tell you that in my membership group, we have a lot of parents of teens. So if you're feeling isolated, come in there and talk with us. Stay for a month, stay for years, whatever it takes. You can do this, but it really helps to talk with other people who are doing this. You don't feel so isolated. I'm able to give you some suggestions I've seen over all these years. It's incredibly reassuring. And I just don't want to skip over that. I have a lot of resources specifically built out of those group coaching calls that we have, and you'll have access to all of that. But for those of you just on the podcast, I've pulled a couple pages from the technology guide. You'll find the link in the show notes and then also at the website. It's some specifics about how we talk to our kids, because a lot of times we don't realize what we're saying can be a little off-putting. The technology guide itself is really good. It has a lot of resources and tips to help you. Eventually, I'll create a course for it. But for now, you can get it as just a guide. But this free PDF is about these interactions that we have with our kids. We're going to think about what you say, how you say it, where it goes wrong, and what you could try instead. I think it will help. And it's free. So go ahead and click the link. So we're going to connect with our teenagers in new ways. This stage of parenting asks something new from us. It's not about being the entertainer or the teacher or the center of their world anymore. And maybe there's a little grief in that because it meant so much to be needed in that way. But this is the arc of parenting. They grow, they shift, and so do we. You're helping them gain the skills of independence and self-trust and emotional grounding. That's not detachment, that's healthy development. This season is less about leading the dance and more about being the steady rhythm that they can come back to. It's about being safe and supportive and available without strings attached. They don't have to perform to get your approval. We didn't want to raise people pleasers. We wanted to raise whole people. They're figuring out who they are in this new phase, still connected to you, still anchored in love, but no longer fully immersed in your orbit. And that's not a failure of connection. It's a quiet sign that it's working. Sometimes the deepest connection happens in unexpected ways. A late night meme exchange, a quiet sit together while they game, a shared laugh over a silly video or something streaming. As you walk past them gaming, look down and say, "Oh, that's cool. What is it?" They may not respond how you expect. They may not gush or light up or fall into your arms in gratitude, but they'll remember that you tried, that you didn't shame them, that you were curious, not controlling. And that may be the thing that rebuilds the bridge, one quiet moment at a time. You've got this. And I'm here if you need help with the membership, with unschooling guides, whatever way can help you build your confidence in this really kind of unconventional way to parent and to educate teens. But unschooling works. I'll talk to you next time.